We're with Demon basketball coach Mike McConathy, whose team plays Saturday afternoon at home against McNeese and Monday night at home against Nicholls, wrapping up a string of 5 home games and 6 contests overall. Coach McConathy, your team comes into the McNeese game 3-3 in conference through the first third of the 18-game conference schedule. Give us the state of the Demons.
The state of the Demons is we're not out, but we're in a bind. We're ahead of where we were a year ago, but we're still not doing the things necessary. I felt like we competed hard, even though we got beat by 12 points the other night. We really did a great job in our green off, which is a defense where we face guard players. They just threw the ball out of bounds time and time again, but we could never capitalize on their turnovers, which is unusual for us because we only scored, I think, 2 points off of their turnovers, and they scored 14 off our turnovers. That's the difference in the ball game. And we didn't shoot the ball well from free throw line, but the fact is that once we get this thing headed down the right track, we're going to be okay. But right now we're struggling getting it on the right track. And someone would say, well, why is that? You got everybody back now. Well, Marvin Frazier is struggling with the back issue. You have Deji, who comes back and plays, trying to get him in the rotation. Ryan King trying to get him in the rotation. And we don't have a lot of continuity in the post there. True, Jalen West and Zeke Woodley are continuing to score, but the last 2 games we've had 2 different people step up. One in Sabree Thompson, and then Devontae Hall stepped up down at Corpus Christi and competed well. It's not necessarily about the points that one scores, but it's the little intangibles about rebounding, defending, hustle plays, getting 50-50 balls. That makes the difference whether or not we can be successful or not.
You said that physical play was something your team has to respond better to. Talk about how you're going to approach that.
I think that we need to be the one being the aggressor instead of other people being aggressive to us. I think that one of the things that you're probably going to see the rest of the way is that teams are going to be extremely physical with Jalen and Zeke, and the rest of our guys are going to have to step up and be just as extremely physical on their players as well, because they're going to try to take them out of the game with physical play. If you go back and look at the Sam Houston game, that was a key to that game. If you go to the Corpus Christi game, that was a key to that game. Just hard physical play by the other team. John Jordan, an excellent guard. He wanted to prove that he was a really good player. He had a great night. Jalen West only had 7 attempts in the game at Corpus Christi the other night and had 10 from the free throw line. I mean, he just physically, it was a tough physical matchup. Jalen is a young man that plays extremely hard and is very talented. He's a great young man, but he's going to get his mettle tested every time he goes out from here on in, because he's got a bullseye on his back just like Zeke does, and our other players are going to have to step up and respond to that and do the same thing to opposing teams as well.
All right, you've got an opposing team that comes in here Saturday that you know very well, that they know you very well. There's a close affinity between you and Coach Dave Simmons at McNeese. A lot of love until the 40-minute clock starts on Saturday.
You know, Dave Simmons is one of the finest people in the world. He's a friend. He was on my staff, and I'd known Dave for a long time prior to that, but we became friends as he worked with me. So many times we have acquaintances and we have friends. We have many more acquaintances than friends, and he's a true friend. But he is a heck of a basketball coach. And one of the things that frustrates me the most for Dave Simmons is people don't really realize what a good coach he is, because he's just such a great guy and great person, and they never really understand that he just gets the job done. And it might be different, just like our program's different. But it's the Dave Simmons approach, and his approach works. He's been very successful, and his team is playing very, very good basketball. And someone would look at his record and say, well, they're 1-4. Well, go back and look at it. He competed at Sam Houston. He had SFA on the ropes before he got 2 or 3 bad breaks on the road at home, which is normal. Sometimes in this league to get bad breaks at home. He was right there knocking on the door to win his first league game, and they've struggled a little bit since then. But they've played a lot of the same teams that we've played, and they've, you know, they're going to come in here and they're going to compete. And this is a big game for McNeese and Northwestern. Big game for them, big game for us, but they'll come in here and they'll bring it.
All right. The style of play, they've got some dynamic players. You've got dynamic players. Is this more likely to be an open floor battle, or are the Cowboys going to come in and try to pound it inside?
I think they'll pound it inside. I mean, if you go back to the Abilene Christian game, they only gave up 59 points against Abilene Christian. So I think that they're gonna really pound it. Deshaun Guidry is a phenomenal player. If I'm not mistaken, he's leading the nation in rebounding or close to leading the nation in rebounding. He's unbelievable. I mean, he's working on about a dozen double-doubles, I think, this year and doing a remarkable job. And that's the kind of player that Dave has in his program. Hardy's a remarkable player that compete tough, hard-nosed, and just makes a lot of things happen. Kevin Hardy, and then you know, we just got some other players. Keelan Garrett's a guy that can really make shots, and when he's stroking it, you know, they're in business. I hope he's not stroking it on Saturday.
One thing that will happen on Saturday is gumbo cook-off. Any good gumbo tips for the cooks?
You know, I stopped something I've been able to learn how to do it. My good friend Chuck moved off, my gumbo cooker, Chuck Berg. He is down in New Orleans. Maybe I need to get him to send me a pot up here so I can put it in.
Not a bad idea. Now, Monday night, we have a team coming to Prather that lives in gumbo country, and that'd be the Nicholls Colonels. And Nicholls, through the years, has provided a lot of interesting challenges for the Demons with the style they play. Talk about the matchup Monday night.
You know, J.P. Piper has a very unique style, and he does a tremendous job. He stays to who he is. You know, I wish our league could understand who we are, but J.P. Piper knows who he is, and he's going to work that clock. He's going to get the shots that he wants to take, and he's just very, very effective. He does a wonderful job. He's got some guys that can shoot the ball and get it in the hole. They'll just be really, really tough. Macbeth is a really, really good player and can really score the basketball as well as rebounding the ball very, very well this year.
2 home games, Saturday night, Saturday afternoon, Monday night. How important is it to defend the home court?
You got to win at home. If you don't win at home, you don't have a chance in this league. To run for the title and say, well, coach, you're 3-3, you're out of the race. We got to get better. We're looking to get better for March. Sure, I don't like where we are, but we're competing. You know, fortunately, our ladies are doing extremely well with a 5-1 record. They're doing a great job. Coach Brooke does a wonderful job, and Coach Scott, they have their ladies playing very, very hard. We've got to continue to get better. They're going to continue to get better so we can both make a run for the title. So people that come to our games, had a great crowd on Wednesday night against Nicholls in the ladies game. I hope we'll have a great crowd against McNeese and then turn around on Monday and have a great crowd against Nicholls, because this is pretty good basketball. You can see something that you have opportunity that people could drive 3 hours and go to a game and not see what they can see right here in Natchitoches at Northwestern State University.
Last question, 2 home games. The big sports news right now is about the Deflategate situation in the NFL. Any chance you'll take some air out of the basketball this weekend or Monday night?
We'll fill it up and go all the way.
Full throttle regulation. Good to know.